Welcome, everyone, to episode 1 of Let's Talk Kdramas. In this episode, we will talk about episodes 1 and 2 of God's Gift 14 Days. My name is Stephen, and with me is my lovely new co-host, Sumi.
Hello.
LTK is a weekly in-depth discussion podcast that follows one K-drama as it airs. Excuse you. I'm only introducing this. That's fine.
Okay.
If you love to watch K-dramas but don't have anyone to talk to about it with, then you've come to the right place. For the next 2 months, we will be following the drama God's Gift, 14 Days. Since this is the very first episode, we want to kind of give a quick summary. Maybe you've never heard of this drama. So the quick tagline is, it's like a time slip drama about a mother who's got to go back 14 days in time to save her daughter from being kidnapped and murdered. So if that sounds interesting to you, you should pause this, check out that drama first, and come back. Because we going to talk about spoilers. Like, how are you going to discuss a drama without spoilers, right? So if you're afraid of spoilers, we're warning you right now. We're going to talk about what happens in these episodes. I promise you, Sumi, we'll talk in a second. So let's get to it. Since this is the first episode, Sumi, why don't you tell me about your K-drama background?
I just have a lot of free time, and I love sappy romantic things, so I watch a lot of K-dramas.
So what is a lot? Because that could mean different things.
Like, right now, I'm probably watching six K-dramas at the moment.
All right, that's a lot.
Out.
That is a lot. Because I think there's really... How many K-dramas are there even,
there are
out?
Probably, 15 right now, at least.
Oh, are you including, the weekend ones that, I never include? So what's for example, give us your top 3 dramas of all time, just to put it in perspective.
Well, I really liked Iljime. That was a kind of older one. And there's one that's really sweet and cute, but not that popular, called Soulmate. Mm-hmm. They were supposed to have a second season, but that never happened. And... You
were just like, fuck!
Yeah!
Fuck.
They made it seem like they were going to meet again, and that would be in the second season, but it never happened.
Gotcha.
And what else? And this one, of course, because it's so good.
We're getting ahead of yourself, that's fine. I will say, I don't watch that many K-dramas. I mean, I would like to, but I just don't have as much time as you. And also this chair is just like, what's going on?
I didn't want to see your face.
You didn't want to see my face, that's fine. I've watched only a handful in the last couple of years. But I really like my favorite probably of all time is maybe Coffee Prince.
Oh yeah, that was
and
good.
I'm more of the gangbuster ones, I'm not gonna spend time watching it unless it's a big ass one, I tried to watch Airs, but that wasn't good.
So good.
It was not good. I just finished watching, of course, You Came from the Stars, which you gave up on, but I actually thought was way better than Airs. But so we have really different tastes, and you watch a shit ton, I don't watch many, so I think this will be really good, kind of, you might be wondering, why isn't Josh here?
No one's wondering that, really.
Well, they're like, who's this guy? I've never seen this guy before. I've only looked at Josh the whole time. We kind of don't have space for 3 people. So Josh is kind of almost exactly like me when it comes to dramas. We don't watch many. So we thought it'd be better if we got one of our friends, Sumi, to come help us. So let's get to it. Episode 1, Episode 2. Tell me, Sumi, what is your overall kind of feelings toward these 2 episodes?
I really liked both episodes. I mean, I thought it was a little bit too fast. It felt like a movie rather than a drama, but, we met all the important characters within 30 minutes of the first episode. And I thought, they could have gone a little bit slower. It's a drama. We have a lot of time. And, yeah, I would have liked it to go a little bit slower. But it was really good. I really liked it.
So that's weird to me because that is usually the opposite of what you will ever say to a K-drama, which is, K-dramas are slow as fuck.
I guess I'm used to their speed.
I guess that makes sense. The reason I kind of picked this was because it seems to be a very different K-drama than many of the other ones, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just standard, I like him, but he doesn't like me, but then he blah, 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 right? Which is most dramas in Korea. And I will actually agree. I don't think it's a bad thing, but it did move really fast. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a byproduct of it having to get through this, introduce everybody, put in these weird random scenes to be subtle clues for when they go back in time, and be like, oh, now that you know everybody, now let's go back in time, let's get to it.
Yeah, because this is really just the setup for the actual drama.
Yeah,
So.
because there's a lot of weird scenes that seemingly were out of nowhere until you remember, oh, they're just setting that up for the back in time stuff. But I will say I really did really like it. It saddens me because it is very much like a movie.
Yeah.
And it was a decent movie, you know, at that. But Korean movies, like especially revenge ones, are known to be like really violent, really fucked up. And I know they're not going to be able to do that, you know, because there's a point in this drama in episode 2 where she's just like, if I find you, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And I'm like, oh my god, I love Korean movies like that. I love watching those like ultra violent Korean movies, and I'm not gonna get that.
Yeah, she said that, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Close to what's gonna happen.
Unless you never know. Unless they just start like she just starts murdering people left and right. Like that'd be kind of cool.
That would be really cool though.
And you know, I kind of wonder, like in general, like is it gonna be kind of a Groundhog's Day kind of thing where like she replays 14 days until she gets it right, or if she only gets one chance after 14 days because they don't. You know, if you don't even read the tagline, you wouldn't know she's going to go back in time, right?
Yeah, I didn't actually read this, so I just found out when you said it.
Oh.
Yeah, like you told me that the girl dies, and I saw part of the teaser where the mentally challenged boy goes, oh, she's not dead. And I was like, whoa, she's not dead, Stephen. What are you talking about? She doesn't die.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
And then I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I read the tagline, and she's most definitely dead.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's actually kind of cool, because that might explain why it seemed like it was going really fast. If you didn't know they were going back in time, it kind of seemed like 8 episodes worth of stuff in 2 episodes. But generally, you know, since you do watch a lot of the more romantic-y types, right? Like, do you watch many of these more action-y ones?
Yeah.
Like thriller ones?
Yeah, there aren't a lot, but like East of Eden was kind of it was like a melodrama, but there was a lot of action in it too, so.
Did you watch the one where they're like policeman, T.O.P. was in it? What is that called? Someone's gonna be mad at me.
Wasn't that like a second season of something?
It may be.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it.
Okay, well, never mind. Because, you know, recently, like, there's been a lot more of these. Like, there's 3 Days. That's, like, more of a thriller, like, police bodyguard one. And I think one on TVN's coming out that's also more of, like, thriller kind of. So, I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. Let's talk more specifics now. Okay. All right? Since this is our first episode, we're a little, you know, she's not done it before. Let's talk about kind of what do you think about the main character? The actress's name is Lee Bo-young.
Yes. And
she plays Kim Soo-yeon. We're going to try to remember their names, but we're probably going to call her main actress girl, but we'll try. What do you think about her performance, her character?
I actually really, I didn't really care much about anyone else's performance. I didn't think it stood out very much, but I thought hers was really good because she had to do a lot of different things with her personality. We got to see so much of her.
Right.
Like, a lot more than the other people. They were all pretty much the same character all the way through. But, you know, she was like... We got to see her being really emotional when she was talking to the, what she thought was a serial killer. But usually she was, like, really strong-willed and, you know, believes in what she believes in. But at that point, she sort of sold everything. She was like, I just want my daughter back. I'll say whatever you want. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I think Lee Bo-young, Young or Young?
I don't know.
All right, my bad. But, you know, I think she just won, like, an award for her last drama. Oh, yeah? So, and I really think this entire drama is built around her. Mm-hmm. You know, like, there's this point in episode 2 where she gives this epic-ass speech, right, in the TV station.
Yeah.
And I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she was crying. She was crying so hard.
Oh, no.
You know, you're kind of a robot. I don't know how you feel about crying, but...
I cry.
You cry, dude?
Sometimes.
All right. But you didn't cry for that part.
No.
I thought it was extremely well acted. Like, I mean, I don't watch that many dramas, but even in some dramas that I love, I don't think the actors and actresses are that good. Mm-hmm. Like, they're decent. They're not like... Like, there's some, like, really good American actors. Like, I watch a lot more American TV, you know, like... You know, if you watch Breaking Bad, if you watch any HBO show, sometimes you're like, damn, that's a good-ass actor. And most K-dramas are not to that level, but I thought she did a really, really good job, especially in that scene. But I think the first episode, she was kind of boring. She was kind of just like you know, the mom that's like,
Yeah, super strict. She's the bad cop. Her husband's the good cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a hard job. I mean, in general, to be a bad cop. Especially when your husband's a good cop. It's like, what are you doing, motherfucker? Like, I told her to do some homework, and you like, but I'm really excited to kind of see what she's going to be like after episode 2. You know, what is she really going to go out with a bang? You know, she was going to be like, I'm gonna get you.
Mm-hmm. But we also did see her jump in the water after that, right?
That's true. I mean, it does make, I don't want to say make sense, but, you know, suicide is kind of fairly common in Korea, you know, to take that measure, you know, when your daughter dies, your husband blames you, you know, like, it's, you know, you tried, quote unquote, everything you can, you know, she tried to kill herself.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was kind of a little too much about her, because the other main character, the kind of Repo Man guy, the dude with the, you know,
he's the
his name's Dong-chan in
loan
the
shark.
Yeah, he's a loan shark. Okay, he's like the guy that you hire to get your money back. Like, he also has this kind of arc where he also ends up dying for kind of a really dumbass reason.
Oh, I thought it was a comedy at that point where he's like, my wife won't sleep with you because she thinks or she won't sleep with me because she thinks I'm boring now.
Yeah. Like, they have such a great setup for her, right? Yeah. Like, a logical, it makes sense for her. And then for him, it was just like, he's up to some shenanigans. And it turns out it was a gangster. And it turns out they just fucking kill people for no reason, you know? Yeah. So that's crazy. I thought they kind of really wasted his storyline. And then he meets that, like, old dude who offers him, like, 10 billion won. And that was random as hell.
That was so random and so cliche. Like, we've seen that in so many dramas where, like, some rich guy pretends to be poor, and he's just like, I want you to do good, and then
I kind of
the money.
I kind of think in Korea, like, every time you see a homeless dude, I'm like, you got money? I'll help you out. You got money?
Are you actually a CEO?
You actually CEO? Yeah, you actually son of a corporation? Come on. So, you know, that part was just in there to be like, oh, he's gonna go back in time too. There's no reason they would have mentioned that dude's got 10 billion bucks if he wasn't go back in time. But what I didn't see coming was when they, like, mirrored the main girl dying, Kim Soo-hyun, and the main dude dying, Dong-chan, with the mentally handicapped murderer, which is Dong-chan's brother.
Yeah.
He's also got hanged and died, and I wonder if he's also going to go back in time. Because it seems weird that they would parallel all three of them at the end if he doesn't do it too. Do you know what I mean?
I think I don't think they're all three of them are going to go back in time together. But I think it might be, it might have to do with Dong-chan going back and maybe saving his brother if he is, like, wrongly convicted or something. Because he has that, like, 14 days, he has that time to go back and maybe find out more about the case and maybe save him if he didn't do it.
Like, I actually thought they did a really good job of, like, even I missed something, like, they did a really good job of subtly piecing together the characters. They weren't straight out like, you're my brother! Yeah. You're my sister. You know, they actually was like, that was the mom. Oh, then that's the mom. Oh, I get, you know, oh, that's the brother that ratted on the other brother. So I thought that was actually pretty subtle, which is not K-drama's strong suits, is being subtle. But I mean, who else? Like, the husband of the main character, his name's Han Ji-hoon. You know, the good cop.
Yes.
You know, actually, the whole time I was like, oh, this dude's just a throwaway character. But then at the very end, he does that thing where he's like, I know who it is, and I'm gonna kill him, like, Taken style. And I'm like,
I don't believe him at all. I'm just like, you probably have the wrong guy, so I still don't really take him seriously.
Yeah, part of me thinks he's like, turns out he's an ex-mercenary. You know, like, he was just trying to get past his life by being a good dad, and that's why he's always so happy. And
oh my gosh, you know what this is like?
Taken?
Like Sherlock. Okay, I'll stop.
How is this like Sherlock?
No, Sherlock the last season.
I mean, I saw that last
Dr.
season.
Watson's wife.
Oh.
Secret life and everything.
That makes more sense now. Okay.
I should say more about
Sherlock
it.
is really good, by the way. Sherlock's really good. Anyways, and then there's, like, another main character dude, a really good looking dude. He's like the head officer, head prosecutor, head, what is he? Head something.
Yeah, I don't think
policeman
he's
dude.
Prosecutor, but yeah.
But you don't really see much of him. He's like the first love of Kim Soo-hyun. And that's why, like, part of the impetus of losing their daughter was like she saw him, was like, oh, I want to have drinks with this chingu. And it kind of, that's why her husband blames him. And I thought that was actually kind of subtle, because the husband does throw it back in her, right? She's like, yo, like, I know the kidnapping itself wasn't your fault, but the fact that it all started because you had to say hello to your ex-boyfriend, like that's a real thing. Like, I would get fucking pissed, right? Like, why can't you tell me? Just tell me. Just tell me you're hanging out with your ex-boyfriend. That's fine.
Well, it's not like it was a secret or anything. She just saw him, so... I mean, and also the woman who she asked to take the kid was
Her
also
friend.
on the phone with her ex or something.
That's true. Who, like, did some really bad shit to her, apparently.
No, it's the other way around, isn't it? She told our main character, Kim Soo-yeon, that it was her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, who had done something wrong.
Yeah.
But on the phone, the moment the child's being taken or something,
Sure.
the guy on the phone says, "I'm gonna tell some writer what happened."
You did.
Yeah. So I think it's actually the other way around.
But she had, like, bruise marks on her arm, right?
Girls
prodded at her.
Yeah, we
so.
actually don't know what happened with that. I don't think it's his fault.
But, I didn't want to talk about that, actually, for bringing that up, is that there's a lot, they put a lot in it, in these first 2 episodes. There's, like, things that I didn't even understand. I don't even know why that scene was there. Or, like, the subs that I was using were not the best. And you actually do understand Korean decently well, right? So I fully rely on the subtitles, and they weren't too good. But I did like that, because most dramas that I've seen personally is just like, that happened, I know that happened, and I knew that was gonna happen. It's not about what happens in a K-drama, it's about how it happens, because it's usually the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, even in this one, actually, there were a lot of coincidences
there definitely
led to pretty much everyone meeting. Like, we saw the mother of the man who got hung, like, everywhere.
What surprises me is that they still hang people in Korea.
Wasn't this the first one? They just had a debate about it, right?
Yeah, actually, my girlfriend is like she's like a law major, and I was like, afterwards, I was like, I don't understand. She's like, oh, like, we still have the death penalty, but we haven't actually murdered anyone. They're just sitting, like, on the side, just in case you want to be like, murder, and so that was the thing, right? Like, they were like, the scariest looking prosecutor came out. He's like, we're gonna murder them now. And I was like, and I will choose who murdered. That dude was scary. I don't know. What else is there to talk about? Like the child? How'd you think she was doing?
Cute. I thought she did well. Like, I don't think they expected a lot in terms of acting from her. She was just that really naive, not so smart, really nice girl. Like, she's nice to everyone.
Yeah.
And I guess they made her character that way just so we would feel even worse when something bad happened to her, because she's just such a good soul.
What I did actually like is usually when you see a kid character in a K-drama, she just acts like an adult, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's really smart. She always knows what to do.
Yeah.
She's always, like, there to help you. And I like that even though she this girl, her name's what, Sepyo?
Yeah.
She does talk a little higher than what she probably should. She still acts like a child. Like, she runs away way too much. Like, I don't know how her parents haven't, like, figured out how to control that. But, she whines, she complains, she does stupid things.
She cries just because she doesn't want to go to school.
Yeah, like...
That's
normal. And normally when I watch K-dramas with my girlfriend, she's like, what? I want a daughter. And there was a point in this movie, she's like, fuck daughters. I want that shit. and it was hilarious, because I was like, yeah, like, that. I'm happy that happened. But...
You're happy that something happened to the girl?
No, I'm happy that it was like a more real child, not some character. They do that in American things too, where, like, the high school student is, like, a super mature adult sometimes.
Yeah, they're played by adults, so I guess it's hard for them to be, like, an immature child again.
Yeah. So I thought she did well. Trying to think. Who else? Barrow from B1A4 is in it.
Barrow.
As the mentally challenged dude. Youngyu. Who's the brother... No, he's the nephew of sexy Dongchan guy. Yeah. Which I didn't pick up until you told me. But he did his thing. I mean, I don't really have that much to say about him.
That was not quality acting, but this is probably his first acting gig. He's probably had less experience than the little girl, the child actor.
Well, his first one was Reply 1994.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was. He was apparently really good in that. I didn't watch it. And you haven't either, right?
Nope.
But you did watch Reply 1997.
I did.
Which I should have mentioned is my favorite K-drama of all time. I don't know how that slipped my mind at the time. But, you know, I'm sure he's got a bigger role. But kind of he did his bumbling and that was kind of it.
Yeah, usually they'll leave some, like, important clue with the mentally challenged person and, like, they'll need to get that out of him later. So that's probably what he's there for, just to help them out at some point.
And we were kind of having this conversation about mentally challenged characters because, you know, there's two in this, right? His father, the guy that got hanged.
I don't remember which one.
What's the correct English? I don't know. But for example, there's a really big Korean movie called like Miracle in Cell 7 where the main character is a mentally challenged dude, and like they always act the same. They're always the same level of mentally challenged, which is like they understand almost everything that's going on, but then when you need them to do something, they just can't do it.
Yeah, and in some ways they seem smarter or more adept than some of the people around them at certain important points. It's
like their level of mentally challengedness just changes depending on what they need from them in the story. So I don't know what they're going to use Borrow for here, but I kind of don't like that when it's like, what? Because, for example, I used to be a special education teacher back at home, and like special ed kids are awesome. I love them. They're the most genuine people I know, but they don't act like this. They're really not. They're really not like that. But who else we haven't done? We haven't talked about Jenny, who's in it for half a second. It's the girl from Secret, Seung-woo. She plays Jenny. She got an English name in there, so you know.
I didn't actually know she had an English name until now.
Yeah, I think they said Jenny once in it. I don't know. Okay. But she's pretty much, hey, I have a body.
Hey, I'm so
done. Done. And so I don't even know why she gets like relative top billing, other than she's a K-pop star.
Yeah, I think that might be the only reason.
Oh. All right. I guess were there any issues, major? Because there's one major issue I did want to talk about.
What?
Which was I thought the editing of the show was not good.
Really?
There are many times in the show that I didn't understand how they got from the last scene to the current scene, and I didn't understand how much time has passed, and I didn't understand where in this timeline we were. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like good editing means like I can follow what's happening the whole time, and there's a lot of times where it's like a scene was happening, edit, and I was like, what? Where are we now?
Yeah, they do go.
What are we doing now?
They do move a lot to different stories.
Yeah, either different stories or just like it's like pounding music, and then it's like, what is this scene? What's happening? And like I said, there were many times where I didn't know how much time has passed until maybe like they were like, it's been 49 days until, and I'm like, what the 49 days passed? Like usually it's solved by doing some kind of montage of like sadness or something, a little title card that's like something, I don't know. But I just thought the editing was, I don't want to say bad, the editing was not as polished as I had hoped it would be. Because if this was a movie, that editing would not have played very well. I don't think. Did you have anything?
I didn't. Well, the editing I didn't mind. I did have a problem with like how many false alarms they had at the beginning. Because we know she's going to get kidnapped.
Right.
And there were like 3 false alarms where like she goes off and does something on her own. I'm like, oh no, this is it. And it's not. And it happens too many times. Like, you could have just done it once and it would have been okay. And then actually have her be kidnapped. But there were just too many of those. It was kind of annoying.
Yeah, like, I know they were like, hey, you know what's going to happen. And it was, I think it was supposed to also be like this in this world, like apparently murders and kidnappings happen a lot.
Yeah. They also had the girl watching the news.
Yeah.
Of all those murders. Which kind of parent is like, yeah, while you're having your dinner, watch like them talk about this murder case.
Oh yeah, and then there was that part where like they're in a car accident. There's a car accident, and they just, and I know that dead body is gonna mean something, and that the necklace that broke or bracelet's gonna matter when we go back in time. But it was like you just let a little girl walk up to a dead body and be like, oh, why don't we just pick up some evidence?
Yeah, and she
what?
must realize there's a crowd of people around, and that you shouldn't, like, that this bracelet isn't the only thing. There's actually someone right in front of you.
Yeah.
And something's going on, and it's not just like, oh, cool, something pretty on the ground.
And Korea apparently he's never heard of, you're not supposed to put a little child in the front seat of a car because those chingus will get decapitated. So you should put him in the back, and that's why they got childproof locks so they don't wander around.
She's young enough to still be in a car seat, isn't she?
I'm not sure. I don't know. How, I mean,
Maybe.
I don't know when
I don't have kids.
people.
She looked really small.
My friend's kid still is in like not a baby car seat, but like a mini car seat that they have to sit on. I think he was like a 6 or 7 till he still had to use that. So maybe. But she definitely should be sitting in the front. But you know, it is Korea, and you know, I always am marveled when I'm walking to school or walking home from work that like kids are just walking around. Like they're just walking around. Even really young kids, elementary school kids, they're getting on the bus by themselves, they're going home by themselves. It really would be, you know, kind of hard to control them if you had to. But this girl got lost. So she just does whatever she wants.
She just goes wherever.
She's like, K-pop concert. What was that dude's name? Snake.
Yeah, she really wanted to see that.
I'm sure that dude will pop up as maybe being important. I don't know.
I hope not. That doesn't seem...
I think I read that like a dude from Beast plays that guy.
Oh.
So, you know, maybe it's just a cameo. I'm not sure. But yeah. So what are your kind of expectations? Like I'm really scared that after this like crazy fast-paced first episode or first 2 episodes, they're really going to slow it down.
Yeah, I think, with the going back in time, they're definitely going to have to slow it down.
Yeah.
This is a drama, so they have so much more time. I don't even know how many episodes this is supposed to be.
I think it's 16. Like, it's actually not that many.
Still, like, if you're only going back for 14 days.
True. That's why I hope, like, if it was more Groundhog Day, it was more like, I went through these 14 days, I didn't get it right. Something bad happened, something worse happened, I gotta go back and fix that. Like, I think that would play better because it'd be more fast-paced and you can go back more times. If it's just the once, 14 days, it's kind of... It can be slow.
Why is it 14 They said that it's been 49 days since the daughter disappeared. So why are they only going back 14 days?
I mean, we don't technically even know they're going back in time yet. I bet it's 14 days from the day they find her dead body or something like that.
Okay.
I bet it's something like that. Because to jump from the daughter dying to the 49 days later, it was nothing. Like, they just jumped. So they didn't insert any clues. I really, really, really will be interested in whether or not they'll pay off all the clues. Because if it's a murder mystery, which it is, right? It's like a time travel mystery. If you don't pay off the clues, if the clues aren't well done, it's really lame.
Yeah, and there were really so many clues, and I guess, like, we're probably really curious, you know.
Yeah,
what was
I really want to know.
Hairpin about?
Yeah.
That mysterious woman in the shop that
That
like, just lit up. I want to know what she's all about.
Be careful of water.
Yeah, and, like, she had a daughter, and I feel like her daughter
her daughter means
died
something.
And was murdered by one of these guys or something.
And, like, there was one time where the sexy dude, Dongchan, was fighting with the overweight guy, and he, like, pulled out like a pin from his pants and threw it. I don't know if you caught that, but that I also think that matters, I guess. But the thing I worry about is K-dramas. You know, maybe this is your first time watching a K-drama. They're not pre-written. They're not like American television shows. Like, they are written and shot sometimes a week before they're aired.
Yeah.
And with a mystery specifically, you can't do that. Right? Like, it can go really badly if you haven't pre-planned clues, especially a time travel story. Right? Like, time travel stories, you need to be on point. Because if you're not on point, your whole story is messed up.
Yeah,
so
that does tend to happen a lot because in K-dramas, where they lose some points because they haven't pre-written it.
Yeah.
And they forget about certain parts, and they just let them.
And that's usually why the first 8 episodes are way better than the last 8 episodes, usually, because those are the ones that they planned and rewritten, and they're not like, it's not 2 a.m. before the next day. They got to shoot like, quick! What are they gonna do?
Yeah, if you've seen K-dramas about K-dramas, they like show you that.
Oh, they show that process?
Yeah, they show you of like where they're like, you've got to give us these scripts ASAP.
Like, that blows my mind.
But this is such a last-minute culture.
It is true.
As teachers, we know this like last minute culture really well.
Yeah.
So I guess it translates in.
But it's like, don't you know that your drama would be 100 times better if you just pre-wrote it before? Like, it makes no sense to me. But, so I'm really, really excited. I haven't been... Well, I was pretty excited about You Who Came From the Stars, but only because I love Jun Ji-hyun. But My Sassy Girl is my favorite movie of all time, so I was like, that bitch is back! But I will say, like, the story of that was not that interesting. Heirs, I was not interested in the first 2 episodes. Like, I was like, other than they're sexy,
yeah. Okay,
other than they're sexy,
this
this is...
3 episodes did suck hard.
It was not good. And then I was like, they're in high school? What the fuck?
I thought they were in university. He never goes to school. You can't do that in high school.
Yeah.
They call your parents.
Like, that makes no sense to me. So, I'm really interested in this. Like, I'm like, I want to know what happens.
Yeah. Especially because of the way it actually started with that storybook. Yeah. That really grim, creepy storybook.
Yeah.
That made it so interesting, and I hope the rest of the drama keeps going with that theme.
Yeah, actually, maybe I should go back and rewatch that part, because I remember it was something about she was like hugging thorns, and then she was like, she had to pull out her eyes in the lake or something.
Yeah, because, okay, so the Angel of Death steals her child, just like randomly out of nowhere, and then she has to get her child back, and she like encounters these things, other like monsters or whatnot, and they all want something from her. One wants, like the one with the lake, they're like, give me your eyes and I'll help you find your child. And the other one's like all thorny and he's like, hug me, give me your warmth and I'll help you find your child.
So like that's actually really interesting, because like if she really has to like going back to kind of the like Korean movies, like the dark movies, it's like she has to give up something of herself to do bad things to save her daughter, right? Like,
do you remember really when the woman said one of you has to die?
Yeah, like for you to live or something, like one of you needs to not be there. I know
so maybe with like when the mother committed suicide, that was like that's why that triggered it. Like they had told us about it before.
Right. So well, then if that's true, then she should not end up alive, right? Mm-hmm. She should end up dead, and her daughter lives.
Or like just the fact that she made that sacrifice, though it wasn't really a sacrifice.
I mean, suicide is not a sacrifice, but if that is true, I hope that's not true. It makes way more. It would make me so much more happy if
now I hope
she
it is,
had to sacrifice herself to save her child. Like that makes more sense. Not the suicide part. I mean, she went back in time, did some crazy shit, had a
No, we want a happy ending where they both come back.
That's what I'm worried about.
It can happen.
It probably will be a happy ending because it's a primetime SBS drama, But like I mentioned, my favorite Korean movies are like the ones that they don't end happy. Like bad things happen, and bad things happen to you, and you don't recover from that. You're not gonna be all happy, going on a picnic at the end of it, And I kind of wish they would have the balls to do that, but I probably shouldn't expect that much, right?
Well, you never know. They might go your way and let me down, because I like happy endings.
You do like happy endings, and I like happy endings too. I just don't think this drama
should be one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it should be like a half happy, half sad, because you gotta have a little half sad to be like they went through some stuff, Mm-hmm. But anyways, I think that's it for episode 1 of Let's Talk K-Dramas. If you liked it, keep in touch, because we're probably gonna release this every Sunday, the video version. We're probably gonna put this on iTunes, although I have not decided where I'm gonna put it. So, I'll inform you guys next time. But yeah, if you wanna keep up with us, I do other things. Sumi doesn't do anything else. But
I teach. I have a job,
Yeah, watching K-dramas, 6 of them. But I do things with my other co-host Josh. We talk about K-pop. So you can check us out there. And until next time, keep watching K-dramas. Keep talking to us about it. Bye.
See you.